Welcome to the Butterfly Effect. I'm Chris Horner. This is stage 15 of the Vuelta, España 2021. Now it's 197 kilometers, about 125 miles in length. Has 4 categorized climbs on today's stage. A Cat 1, a Cat 2, a 1, and a Category 3 that'll summit with about 5 kilometers before the finish line. So come with me as we go into the Visma bus to discuss the tactics on today's stage. Now the director's in there, he's got all his riders sitting in front of him, he's at the head of the bus looking back at his riders, and they're all sitting on a chair much like I am right now, looking up at the man that is setting the plan for today's stage. So he's looking up at him, we all did it this way, and the director's there and he says, hey guys, on stage 10 we gave up the red jersey so that we could stay rested, relaxed, get all the domestiques for Primoz Roglic riding good and being able to have some fresh legs in the mountain stages. Sepp Kuss, you look fabulous lately. You're up at the front. Steven Kruijswijk, you're looking pretty solid too. Seen Steven Kruijswijk's mug on the front on a couple of these last mountain stages, so you must be feeling good. So now, tomorrow's a rest day, so let's win a stage today. I think this would be fabulous. We're going to send Sepp Kuss in the front break or Steven Kruijswijk in the front break because Stevie, let's face it, Stevie doesn't win much. He has 2, maybe 3 wins on his resume, so we need to get Stevie a win. So today's a great stage while we have Primoz Roglic here to win his 3rd Vuelta. And after we've been so rested, and we gave away the red jersey anyway, so let's go ahead and try to win a stage with somebody other than Primoz Roglic. So let's jump out of that bus. Now let's jump into the bus of Intermarché, because you know I love Intermarché. Those guys, those knuckleheads, they got plans all over. They're going deep into the tactics, trying to figure out how to win stages. Now they're most dominant team here at the Vuelta, right? I mean, they're wearing the red jersey since stage 10, and they've not only had it once, but they've had it twice with 2 different riders, and they've won a stage. This is the new Sky team right here. They are absolutely dominating the Vuelta. So their director's sitting up there and he's saying the same thing. Guys, let's win a stage today. Let's send guys up the road in the break. And then Louis Meintjes, we're going to send Louis Meintjes up the road too near at the finish so that he can move himself up in the top 10. Because we want the red jersey, but we want to get somebody else in the top 10 because we're Team Sky. Not Intermarché, we're Team Sky. So we're going to dominate. So that's my perception of what I see on today's stage when I'm Chris Horner sitting here doing the butterfly effect for you fans. Two teams that just absolutely want to dominate. One doesn't care about winning overall, and one wants to win overall and win stages. Both want to do that, really. So when the racing starts for the first 70 kilometers of the stage, it's full gas, and I mean big breaks all over the place. Sepp Kuss is in the first big break, 25 guys. You know Sepp Kuss can win this stage for sure with 25 guys. What happens? That break splits in half. Sepp Kuss gets stuck in the second group. They get caught by the field. Wasted energy, Sepp Kuss. No problem. That big group up front was going to get caught just at the beginning of the Category 1 climb that starts on today's stage. Now this is a big climb and it's pretty long. The first break going up the road is 3 riders. It's Rafael Majka, Fabio Aru, and Van Gils from Lotto Soudal. Now Fabio Aru, we haven't seen his mug a whole lot, but he's been looking pretty good before the Vuelta and he's retiring after this season. So he's up there, he's looking solid. Rafael Majka, UAE Team Emirates, we all know he's a fabulous rider. KOM jerseys at the Tour de France and stages all over the place. Quality rider. Those 3 riders get away and a group of 10 start chasing with Stevie back there. Stevie Kruijswijk. Jumbo-Visma is in the move, going up the road, trying to win a stage for Jumbo-Visma. Now, guys, I can understand. When I'm giving you these tactics, I'm almost 50 years old. I'm 49 sitting here, so I got some experience. You guys have heard me say I raced professional for 25 years, and I'll be fair and clear right here. Throughout my 20s, the reason why I know these are knucklehead moves is because I did them all and I seen them all being done. So it's a knucklehead move. Now, Stevie Kruijswijk, when you're sitting in the bus and the manager's saying, hey, let's try to win the stage today with someone other than Primoz Roglic because you guys are so rested after we gave the red jersey away on stage 10 so that you could be rested, so that you could be solid on the mountain stages to come for Primoz Roglic and help him wrap up his 3rd victory. You should have said no. You're 34, 36 years old. By this point in time, you should understand tactics and you should certainly understand your body. And guys, if you look at the results, he's got 2 or 3 wins throughout his career. So you want to try to get him his 3rd or 4th win right here on this stage, on stage 15 of the Vuelta, instead of focusing on saving your legs, saving your form, and keeping as close as you can to Primož Roglič, the #1 rule on the butterfly effect. Nobody has learned that yet. So Stevie Kruijswijk, I cannot forgive you for this because you're a knucklehead. You're over 30. By now, you should have it figured out. You don't have that many wins. You have Primož Roglič back there that can win this Vuelta. You are a super domestique. You are not a big-time winner. There's other races in the future that you can go out there and win races on. We all know your resume looks solid with podiums at the Tour de France. You almost won the Giro until you crashed on a left turn at the top of a summit hill there and then lost the Giro. But let's face it, in reality, there's not very many wins. So why do we think it's going to happen today? Well, he's up there. He's in a group of 10. That group will swell up to about 20 riders. And Intermarché will send the rider up the road too because, like I said, they're trying to be the new Sky team, so they want to send riders everywhere so that they can win stages. And who knows, maybe they can get another red jersey with a different rider from their team. So there, 20 guys are chasing 3 guys. Fabio Aru and Rafael Majka will drop Van Geel, the Lotto Soudal rider, before the top of the first Category 1. And then it's 2 guys that are being chased from 20. Now, when we go over the top of the climb, Rafael Majka will take the KOM points, and Rafael Majka and Fabio Aru will drop down the descent when they start the next Category 2 climb with about 90 kilometers to go. Rafael Majka is taking off solo. Fabio Aru's coming off the wheel, and Rafael Majka's going solo. Now, this is impressive. I mean, we're talking just under 90 kilometers to go. Rafael Majka's like, I don't care about the 20 guys chasing me. I'm going to throw in a dig. I'm going solo, and this is it. Rafael Majka, UAE Team Emirates, is off and running. Now behind the group of 20 with about 62 kilometers to go. They were never gelling that well together, and now they start attacking each other, and we'll see in the third group in the picture there's the Intermarché rider back there chasing. Now he's stuck in the third group, and he's not going to get back up to the first group. So every bit of energy that he did going up the first Category 1 to get himself into that group, and he was one of the last guys to bridge up to that group, and I think he had to bridge about a minute gap to get in there. So all that energy he spent getting up there, well, he's getting dropped now at 62 kilometers to go. Up front, it's Steven Kruijswijk with Carlos Verona, Jeffrey Bouchard from AG2R, and Arensman from DSM. Those 4 riders, and we'll see Steven Kruijswijk there arguing with Carlos Verona. Carlos Verona's like, man, I don't need to go to the line with you. Come on, this is crazy. They'll argue. Finally, they'll start working a little bit more. A few other guys will bridge on, and that group will turn into 7. Now, on the very next climb, only a few kilometers later, Steven Kruijswijk's going solo because he's certain he can catch Rafael Majka that's up the road. Fabio Aru is first to come off. Gorka Izagirre, the Astana rider, comes off next. Arensman DSM is coming off. Jeffrey Bouchard from AG2R is getting dropped. Juan Lopez from Trek Segafredo, and Juan Lopez, he was the highest in general classification in the big group they're chasing. He was sitting 16th on general classification, I believe somewhere around 10 minutes. Then in front of him is Carlos Verona. Movistar's getting popped, and Steven Kruijswijk is going solo. He's about 2.5 minutes behind Rafael Majka, and he's sure he can bridge the gap. Right away, he brings down about a minute on Rafael Majka up there, who's just on the pedals, pushing as hard as he can, and we see the time drop. After that, he gets to about 1:30, and then the time starts staying steady. Behind with the GC favorites, it's Intermarché that's setting the tempo all day long. Everything is calm back there. None of the GC guys are attacking, just Intermarché riding tempo. We know it can't be too hard at this point in time because up front, Rafael Majka's time's at about 6 minutes and does not drop until the very end of this race. So we know the group back there, yes, the first 70K were hard, but the first Category 1, they rode steady. So remember, they rode steady. So Intermarché rode steady up that climb, and that's why you can see so many of the Intermarché guys on the front. Now when we start getting under 10 kilometers to go, Rafael Majka is still pushing hard on the pedals. Steven Kreiswick is trying to pull him back, but he's still at 1:30 and can't do any more damage. He'll start losing time once we start the Category 3 with about 8 kilometers to go. Behind Steven Kreiswick, GC led peloton by Intermarché. They got 4 or 5 guys still left on the front there. When we get on the climb, Rafael Majka starts digging hard. His team director comes up next to him and starts pounding on the door, giving him motivation as much as he can. Now they're going up the road. Looks like he has it about in the bag, but he's still going to put in all the effort to get to the summit with over 1:40 gap on Steven Kreiswick back there who's hurting. Now over the top, Rafael Majka, UAE team member, starts to have it locked up with 2 kilometers to go. He knows it, turns over the camera and starts smiling with his big bright white teeth there showing. He's celebrating all the way to the line for the last 2 kilometers. For a solo 90-kilometer win on today's stage 15 of the Vuelta España. Congratulations, Rafael Majka. That was spectacular. Steven Kreiswick will finish second on the stage. Behind in the group of GC favorites, the first rider to attack is UAE team member, Spanish rider David de la Cruz. Right away, Luis Mencas Intermarché follows the attack because why? I don't know, but he does. Remember, Intermarché only had 3 guys left, so only 2 can work with the red jersey. Now, when they lose, the one rider, Luis Mencas, following the attack right away. No problem, the red jersey still got one other teammate with him as Luis Mencas is going up the road. Now, I don't really like this tactic. You know my plan. That's breaking the number 1 rule. But don't worry, he's not going to pull up there. He's just going to get a free ride. And then all of a sudden, Luis Mencas starts pulling out the front of the group. I can't make this story up, guys. He's pulling on the front of the group, and behind is Intermarché chasing the break that's going up the road. This is absolutely insane. There's no way that the red jersey wearer could overlap wheels and crash. There's no way that his chain can fall off. There's no way that he could get a flat tire. There's no way that he could get a mechanical. There's no way that his last teammate legs won't just blow up at any moment and then he'll be left isolated. That can never happen in a bike race. But don't worry, Luis Mencas, you're going up the road because you're going to gain 20 seconds on today's stage. Behind, Adam Yates starts tacking. What happens? Intermarché loses the last domestique. Red jersey wearer is isolated and on his own. And up front, Luis Mencas is still pulling the brake, trying to get away. This is absolutely blowing my mind away. Over the top, Adam Yates will solo over the top and gain about 20 seconds on all the GC favorites behind, while Jumbo Visma have to do the work to keep the gap close to Adam Yates, and Primož Roglič rides into today's stage without ever having to do any big effort on his legs. Red jersey Odd Christian Eikings from Intermarché will keep the red jersey and go into tomorrow's rest day with another day in red. Congratulations, Eiking. Even with those terrible tactics from your team, you're still in red. Fantastic job for Eiking to stay up there and climb with the big boys and all the GC guys at this year's Vuelta. Looking forward to the next mountain stage after the rest day on the butterfly effect to see if Eiking can continue to stay in red over the big mountains. Like and subscribe to Butterfly Effect, and I'll see you guys real soon.